What's up, guys? It's Oblivious Gamer here. And, well, I wouldn't say it's been a slow news week. There's been a lot of stuff. Personally, though, not too much that I wanted to talk. However, a couple of hours, I think by the time this video comes out, it's probably going to be a day. We got an interesting and very important announcement from Square Enix. Square Enix has been going through some, I wouldn't say financial problems, but according to them, they haven't been meeting their financial goals. And some of the titles they have been releasing haven't necessarily been hitting the goals that they are looking for. They just recently announced they are planning to restructure some stuff. They are looking for a new midterm business plan. And there's a lot of stuff here that basically got announced. Now, I do want to preface, the gaming industry is currently going through a rough time. A lot of games are coming out and being reviewed well, they're doing decent, but what I'm talking about is more developers, studios. We've seen layoffs everywhere. We aren't even half of the year, and the amount of layoffs that have been seen is record-breaking for the industry. Studios have been closing down. We just saw recently happen with Microsoft. And also Square Enix is kind of saying in this announcement that they will have to lay off some people for their restructure. There's a lot here. I'm not gonna bore you with all the semantics. However, I do want to comment on something that is a bit interesting. Now, Square Enix for a while has been very buddy-buddy with Sony. A lot of their games tend to be released there. We saw Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, Rebirth, and other titles. Square likes working with Sony in a way. Now, it seems for the past couple of years, this hasn't been, it hasn't been meeting their goals. Be it with the current market, how complicated it is. There's obviously a lot more than just, the whole economy, worldwide is not in a good place depending on what country you are. So obviously that affects a lot. There's too much that goes on. But an interesting thing that they announced that they're going to do is they're going to shift to a multi-platform strategy. What does that mean? Well, basically they're saying we have to release our games on all the platforms that we can. It's going to be interesting. Like I said, Square has been very buddy-buddy with Sony. So them going multi-platform is an interesting strategy. From my point of view, I think it's needed. I think we are in a point where do we need to do this? I understand there has to be, depending on how you're looking at it, there has to be some incentivization to get a specific platform. In this case, Nintendo Switch game exclusive, PlayStation game exclusive, Xbox game exclusive, so that you would prefer one platform over the other. So if you want to play Final Fantasy, for example, right now, you have to get a PlayStation. If you want to play Legend of Zelda or Pokemon games, you have to get a Switch. Now, there are, of course, some ways for the Switch, but let's talk about legal ways. It incentivizes people to be like, well, I want to play these types of games, so I have to get this console. A lot of times people don't have the money to buy every single platform out, and we also have people that prefer one platform due to the history. I mean, we're at a PS5 at this point. We've gone through a lot, so these platforms have also built their fan base, which leads to the famous console wars, some toxicity, blah blah blah. Now, I do think in the modern times that we live, multi-platform strategy is the best one. I think at this point, is there a need? I mean, I don't know. For example, Sony, sure, they're still releasing PlayStation exclusive, but we saw that they are now releasing them also on PC. So these games eventually go to PC. Xbox is doing the same thing. Xbox is going, well, we kind of want to integrate PC and Xbox, so we have you have the ultimate plan for the Game Pass, which you can get PC and Xbox games, the cross-platform and cross-play between Xbox and the PC versions of the game. So I think the industry is going that way, and I think for a lot of the franchises and games that we love, for them to still be here tomorrow, we have to realize that multi-platform is probably the way to go. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth could have probably sold a lot better, if it was on PC day one or if it was on the Xbox. Or that doesn't mean that just the shift to multi-platform strategy means that all these games are going to come day one multi-platform. But it could mean that they will at least try to bring all of the games to multi-platform, because still some of the games are not available on Xbox. The Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VII 16 is going to come on PC. I don't think it's going to come to Xbox. Maybe now with the change of strategy, but originally nobody expected to come to Xbox. Same with Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth. It's going to come to PC. If the Remake is out on PC, Rebirth is expected to come on PC. Nobody expects that game to come on Xbox. So maybe the shift can also be, we're not just bringing it to PC eventually, but also to Xbox. I don't know. The industry is really in a weird state. We saw Microsoft just close Tango Gameworks, who deliver a amazing game with Hi-Fi Rush. Won awards, people love it, everybody raved about it, and they still got shut down. I mean, you literally make one of the best games, and it's still not enough. So at this point, I don't know. For me, I want to see some of my franchises be alive or doing well the next couple of years. So, I mean, going multi-platform probably is the best option for Square. At the same time, we have to remember, it's not you, it's not the gamers, it's not the developers, it's the investors who run this with their demands of because the CEO answers only to the investors, and I don't know, man, I'm just tired. It's pretty shitty. There's a lot of games to look forward to. There's a lot of stuff to be excited, but it just sucks that we're constantly seeing all these layoffs. The CEOs just keep getting their bonuses, and the developers are all just ending up jobless. This affects a lot of the industry, because it's like people who want to get in the gaming industry are going, why would I get industry that I don't know if I will have a job tomorrow? People who are getting fired might even consider, well, why would I go to another company when the same thing could happen again? We are losing a lot of talent with this, and I wouldn't blame a lot of these developers if they no longer want to do anything related to the gaming industry, because it's just a shit show. And that bubble that these investors and CEOs are chasing, especially after the pandemic where everybody was locked down, the only thing people were doing is playing video games. Of course, those sales were going to skyrocket, and now that people are out and living their lives again, it's not the same. You can expect growth. Growth is not infinite. I don't know. Yeah. Well, in the end of the day, summary is Square Enix is going multi-platform in their next games. It's going to be interesting to see how they're going to approach it. Is this going to be a day one thing where they're just going to release it? Is this going to be a thing where they're going to be releasing like they do with PC, meaning work with one company, in this case, let's say Sony, and then in 6 months or a year, they release it on PC and X? We will have to see. So what are your thoughts, guys? This has been Oblivious Gamer, and I hope you'll have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.